What up? Hey, cheers. Happy Tuesday. Happy Bitcoin Tuesday. Let me go out and make sure you guys are all muted, but I'll mute you all. And I'm not going to allow you to unmute yourself. Sorry. No offense. Also, I'm going to screen share a little bit. Go look at some charts. I usually do that when we start. Also, let me disable the ability for anyone to draw on my screen. We'll get started here shortly. Just going to go over some stuff. So we're hopping and popping, folks. Can you spell viral? I know I can. Be careful what you wish for. We got probably the highest registration, and we're already almost at the, we're not quite at the highest attendance yet, but okay, where was I? I'm going to go to, yeah, so, whoops. The Bitcoin market and crypto market's been pretty good, pretty healthy. The, wow, just creeped over 12,000. This sometimes is a little misleading because that's the market buy price, and they tend to go up. It's a premium price paid on the market. Coinbase is a little bit more reality. See how they're 11,971, and then coin markets have Bitcoin at 1249. That's the spread. When the big wigs, when they come in, they're buying millions of dollars of Bitcoin. They try to come in and they try to get a low call price of something like this, and then they try to sell at this price. So if you make $100 on 1,000 Bitcoins, you just made $10,000, and it happens within minutes. So that's called kind of micro trading, but it's large cap micro trading, where a lot of the big money is being made right now. You can see these charts. The good solid tokens are mirroring Bitcoin. And then this is kind of an unheard of market, right, where most charts are going up in a consistent basis. So this is some pretty easy pickings. So Ethereum is pretty healthy. It's pretty stable. You can diversify, keeping some money in Ethereum if you don't like the fluctuation. Right now, everyone should just be in Bitcoin. There's going to be some sell-off, and there are going to be some market corrections. I think we're trying to test the market highs, they call it. All the big financial folks that deal in the U.S. dollar and all the other markets are talking down Bitcoin like it's going to take a dive and all this stuff. But it looks pretty healthy. There's a little bit lower volume here. Lots of high volume here, buying on the low. See how the chart went down low back about a week ago, and then this is the volume buying it up at that price. And then boom. Today, that's one healthy chart. But you can see here, as charts grow, as charts go up, gravity takes hold, right? Volume is very consistent right here. See this volume? That's actually really healthy to see. It just means that a lot of people are consistently coming into the market and buying. Just over the last hour, we went up about $100. It is getting close to 12, cracking 12. It's going into a new high as we speak. Today was a very good day for Bitcoin. So we'll get started here shortly. Welcome, everyone, to the Bitcoin X4 presentation. Let me come back out. Yeah. So fair amount of people got paid again today. So I'll be announcing some things. All good. To get people updated on some things. And then on the chat, start typing in some testimonials. I know that you probably typed them you've probably been to 12 of these meetings, and you typed them probably, hopefully you've made more since the very first meeting, but try to put in what we really need to look at is, what did you originally spend out of your Bitcoin wallet, and what have you actually made, and what are some of your potentials? Talk about playing with house money. There's a lot of members playing with house money. You've made all your money back, all your seed money, and it's just playing leverage. But over here, go ahead and start typing some testimony. That way, when new people come in and they start seeing some stuff, lots of good things that they can see. And let me check. We're still coming up on people popping in, so I'll get started here shortly. Yeah, so overall, things are looking very good. It's going to be a good Christmas. I'm hoping that the majority of our members, if you haven't already gotten paid, you will be getting paid. That way you have money for Christmas and you can start showing your testimony, getting more people in. Part of the things that I'll be talking about tonight is it is a little like mass hysteria, right? And rightly so. I mean, most of the people that are in our program, it's the first time they ever made money. And they are extremely excited. And they're actually out for, in some cases, the first time inviting other people. A fair amount of people are joining on an hourly and daily basis. And I just want to make sure that I'll be talking about this as well. But there's a couple things. One thing is when people join and they send the Bitcoin to the group wallet, their earnings start at that moment. They have the 15 or 30-day option. You don't have to tell me or your sponsor what option you want. It's just that when 15 days go by on the calendar, based on your time date stamp of your Bitcoin hash in your back office of your wallet, then you can message me as long as you're all nice and active and helpful. Then we talk about 15-day payout, and we'll talk about the payout options. Or if you just want to let it ride for 30 days, at the end of 30 days, you message me, you send me your proof, and we'll work out cycle assurance. What else? Well, that's about it for that. Overall, like I said, it's going great. I think one of the biggest things is just there's been a mass flow of new people coming into the program. We've now got over the hump of a lot of the people that didn't join are joining now because they're kind of we're just watching us. They're bad because they probably could have made 10 times the amount of money, but we're going to be here for the long haul. And part of what I'll be talking about tonight, we have plans to go all the way through 2018 and beyond, as opposed to those fly-by-night money games that you hope that you're at the top. You hope you can make your money. If not, you lose your money and you go to the next money game. Yay! This is all about strategic, consistent action, daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis to build wealth. It's not about, turn 25 into 100, guaranteed money, quick buck, No, none of that nonsense. And then we'll talk about longer term plans where some people think that Bitcoin X4 is like the utopia. It's the end of all end. You can retire on Bitcoin X4. Maybe. But it's really, in reality, it's just the beginning. Its main goal is to help you and all your members that haven't been making any money online try to figure out. I mean, if you just bought Bitcoin, you would have made money in the last month, right? So it's like you wouldn't have to join any program. But overall, you need to get your money growing, get your money working for you. And the only way to do that is through a team system and a program or programs to leverage up your money. But it's very, very difficult out there. Lots of folks losing a lot of money. One gal told me that one guy wants to join because he wants to make up for his $80,000 he lost in Bitcoin. I don't say any names or anything, but ouch, right? So some people, if they lose $50, it's the end of the world because that's their last $50 they have to their name. So it's all relative. Okay, let me get started and then we'll move into the slides. I'll go into some new things, updates, and then Q&A where you can type also questions here. And, overall, I think that we got a very beautiful thing. It's very important not to screw it up. How do we screw it up? By being impatient, rude, what else? Not really working, not really sharing, not really earning your Bitcoin, right? We'll talk about that too. Life is one big ball of value, You have to give value, and the universe is one value chain, and it's a value mirror, and it's a value engine, however you want to look at it. And the more value you give, the more value you get back. And by just sending your Bitcoin in, that is a small portion of value, but it's only a small portion in terms of what you can do when you add your energy back to that value, add value to the group, add value in helping other people, and all of a sudden your value goes up. Meaning, and it's all relative, right? Because you also have to understand that money is just a way, it's an energy, and it's a value of exchange, and Bitcoin is now a form of money, and one of the sexiest, coolest form of money on the planet Earth right now. That's why the price is going through the roof, and I'll talk about that. But once you pull all those factors together, it's time to be free. But you have to earn freedom. Freedom comes with a cost. The more successful and the more free you become, the more responsibility you have. Because someone's paying for your freedom, and you either pay for your freedom with value you're giving back to the market on a consistent basis, or your entire organization and network and team is creating the value, so you can sit back and oversee the value network. All rich people build networks. Everyone else on the planet works for those networks. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, let me scan real quick. I won't go to the questions yet. Let's go right into the slides. Okay. So welcome to the Unified Bitcoin team's Bitcoin X4 presentation. Now, our Bitcoin X4 system applies market-proven methods of crowdfunding. I know that term's been thrown around a lot, right? And it also incorporates and weaves donations, instant payments, member-to-member, things of that nature, along with the power of Bitcoin and team system leverage. Crowdfunding overall is really a legal form of way to raise money. And it is a private group. So we come together and we help each other turn a small amount of Bitcoin into a large amount of Bitcoin in a short period of time, while leveraging a team and a system, and then leveraging the power of Bitcoin. That's net summary, end of story. Crowdfunding also is used with GoFundMe. It's also used in all the ICOs that are coming out, all the hot coins. Crowdfunding is just a form and just a method to come together to help raise funds so you can do good things, whether it's helping your family, helping your local cause, your local charity, your local church, whatever that may be. We help you raise money so you can improve your life and everyone around you. Net. A little quick introduction of myself. Robert Q. Cash, Crypto Cash King, founded the Unified Bitcoin team. My background, I have 30 years sales and marketing experience, and MBA graduate, and 16 years in the payment software corporate world. I've been full-time now online for a couple, 2 or 3 years, and been in Bitcoin for over 3 years. It's kind of like I joke, it's like dog years. So I've been in Bitcoin maybe 21 years. And I've built lots of teams in the thousands. And, really just building a team is finding a single goal and a single purpose, and then unifying that team together, hence the name Unified Bitcoin Team. The main purpose is to help each other make money, both as fast as possible and as long term as possible. Make sense? So what the heck is Bitcoin? You probably know quite a bit because you're here and you have Bitcoin and you paid Bitcoin to be a member of this program. If not, you're thinking about doing it, and all you have to do is send your Bitcoin to the group wallet and you're in, and your earnings start. Simple as that. So Bitcoin, though, is pretty interesting. It has 3 major factors. If you can remember these 3 things, if someone asks you what the heck is Bitcoin, you can tell them it's a digital asset, as well as it's a form of currency, online currency. So really it's a way to pay for products and services over the internet. So it's a form of internet money. And the third thing is it comes with its own payment network. It doesn't need banks to work. It works on its own blockchain network. In the first area of a digital asset, it's very important to understand that you can just buy the asset. An asset, a digital asset, an asset of value means that typically the asset will go up in value and appreciate. And you know, in comparison of buying gold or silver or real estate, you know, as long as you've bought a good piece of real estate, location, any type of asset is something that can grow in value and earn, and actually start to earn you either income or increase your wealth. It's very important to acquire assets that have real value. And that's what Bitcoin has become. It's an asset of real value, but it's a digital value that it's a token, and it rides on the digital blockchain, and then we can exchange it for products and services globally. And that's really the second form, is why the price is really starting to go up. Not only because of the digital asset and a lot of the euphoria of people just buying it, simply people buying it, and a lot of people buying it is driving the price up, supply and demand. But the other thing that's keeping the price up is that people can use Bitcoin to buy stuff globally. And people are starting to accept Bitcoin everywhere. You can buy Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Subway sandwiches. Soon, the rumor has it is that Amazon.com may accept Bitcoin soon. Bitcoin price could go up quite a bit because there's just so many more users coming into the market. And so that's what's really keeping the price up, is that it's actually used as a value, and it's actually becoming a currency. In the future, there'll be, you know, most governments and countries will have, you know, their Fed coin, the yen coin, the China coin, you name it. It'll all have their own form of coin and token on top of the blockchain network. A lot of the banking systems are starting to leverage the blockchain in some degree, but that's why the banks are here. The banks are still needed to cash out of Bitcoin, put Bitcoin and sell it and bring it into your local currency, so you really can pay all the other bills that doesn't accept Bitcoin, you know. But you also have the Visa and MasterCard debit cards that you can send your Bitcoin to. But it has all the three things. It's like the Holy Grail. It is the future of money. So it's going to be around for your life, your kids' life, their kids' life, their kids' life. It's going to be around for the rest of our lives and your kids' lives. It is really the future. As long as the Earth is around and the Internet's around, Bitcoin's going to be the mama. There's going to be other tokens, of course. Ethereum is looking good. Litecoin, Dash. You may want to start buying some of those tokens because they're all going to go up in value just like Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin X for? It really applies simple methods and market-proven methods. It does incorporate crowdfunding, donations, member-to-member payment, so you can make money fast. And it's you know, and leverage the Bitcoin blockchain and take advantage of instant payments. But it also leverages a real simple 2x2 matrix board system that's been used historically ever since, you know, network marketing, affiliate marketing really was founded. And I keep it real simple with the 2x2. The board system is a little bit different though in what people are used to in matrices, in terms of when you bring referrals in. Oftentimes you're like, why isn't my referrals exactly under me? Well, they're on the side of you because we can't put them under you. And then sometimes what happens is the board splits. So they're not even on your board, but they're next to you on the other board next to you. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But with some of those perceived drawbacks comes with an enormous amount of benefits. So why did I create this, right? And well, because I'm partly crazy, and I knew that there was a huge need in the market. And out of necessity becomes invention. So you can only hit your head up against the wall so many times until you get a helmet. And I basically geared this whole thing, and my whole sales career, and my whole network marketing career, and my whole online career, my everything in this business to solving the two biggest problems you see right there. Problem number one: no one has any money to make money. They come online because they need to make money, but they're struggling in their job, or they're working at a job they don't like, and they don't have any money. And when they come online, they don't have any money to make money. And then the problem two is that inherently the only really way to make money is to somehow be able to be either a part of a team or a system, but be a part of a network that brings in more and more people. And then there's more and more products and services, or more and more Bitcoin flowing, so you can make more money. And then they call it either to recruit or sponsor new people. And we'll talk more about that. I usually stop share at this point because I don't want to PowerPoint you to death. I often joke that when I was in the corporate world, selling software to corporations, some of the largest companies in the world, and what we did is we helped them automate their payments, business to business, and automate their electronic invoicing. So, we always made the analogy, and some of the times when I talk to executives selling them software, they say, I would tell them a story like when you go home and you go to Amazon.com, right? You go over there, you get the shopping cart, you buy a book, and then boom, the next day it's on your doorstep. You go to work, you have to fax, you have to email, you have to phone, it's like 1962. But when you're at home, it's the 21st century. So what's been happening over the last 15 years, and I'm no longer in the corporate world, but most corporations are moving to complete automation. They're now becoming webified, they call it. And so I would sell these big, almost Amazon.com-like portals so they could put in their suppliers and then pay them electronically and have electronic invoicing, and I would automate all the paper. And so, that's really what Bitcoin does at a higher level. Now, let me answer these two biggies. The two biggest problems that we solve. If you solve these two biggest problems, you'll be fine and making a living online. But they're very hard to solve. If you don't have a good system, a good team, and a good network and good programs, and you don't take consistent action, it's hard to solve these two problems. And problem number one, no one has any money to make money. They often say, do you really need money to make money? Well, it's kind of like almost like a universal law. You kind of do. And I get people thinking, right? It's like, okay, so let's imagine, right? You have no money, absolutely no money. I mean, some people, they don't have any money, and you will eventually. So hang in there. But let's just say, as an example, you don't have any money. How would you make money if you had no money? And you don't have a job, and you have to now make some money. So you think about it for a little bit, and you're like, dang, how am I going to make money? So the first thing you think of, and nowadays it's like, well, maybe I can sell something on eBay and get some PayPal or get some money and make money somehow, or I'll walk down the street and I'll knock on some doors, say, can I clean your yard for $20? And you get the $20 and you're like, cool. And I'm going to go online and buy some Bitcoin. But you see what I'm saying? No matter what it is. And then when you go start a business, 80, if not 85% of all businesses fail. So it's pretty hard to start a business. But when you do start a business, you better have a lot of money, or you got to go borrow money, right? So you need money to make money. You watch Shark Tank, people come in and they're, talking to all the panel and they're saying their great idea, their magic underwear, whatever it is. And, they're looking for money so they can get to the business the next level. Oftentimes they mortgage their house, they max their credit cards because they believe in their great idea. So it is kind of like this it's an issue. That's why it's the number one problem online, is that people come online, they don't really have that much money. The average is maybe $100 extra to spare because they're working at a job and they're paying their bills, and literally every 2 weeks they pay their bills, and then they're broke for 2 weeks, so you get paid again, and they pay their bills, and they're broke for 2 weeks. You've been there, right? Check to check. 80% of the people on the planet are check to check, so you're not alone. And this is what we're trying to do, is try to get people broke free. And one of the best ways is to be a part of a team or a network in the distribution system of network marketing or crowdfunding, or some of the programs that I talk about, both short-term X4 or long-term like USI Tech and BitConnect and some others in Mint Builder, is that you begin to be a part of the commerce and a network of products and services and money exchanging. So you create your own job. You create your own income. Right? So now you can get to a point, well, how do you start from scratch? How do you start when you have no money and you don't really know how to sponsor or recruit? Problem number two. Recruiting and sponsoring, I make an analogy like kindergarten. You got to get to a point, and before I tell you the story, let me tell you another biggie. And some people don't know this. Most of the people that are on this meeting, this is probably your 10th meeting, you probably already know what I'm going to say. Keep drinking my beer because you guys drive me to drink with all your requests and adding people and board updates and payments and cycle assurances. Good grief. 80 to 90% of the people on the planet do not like to sell and market. The only way to make money online It's the sell and market. And if you combine that with the first problem, 80 to 90% of the people don't have money. This is why 98% of the people online don't make money. They can't solve the first two problems, which is the two biggest problems. Once you solve those and understand them, and you flip your thinking around them and understand that in order to make money, you need to start with a little bit of money, and you leverage the team and a network, and you make it turn a little bit of money into a larger bit of money, then you have more money, and then you have more money, and all of a sudden you have something to play with. Then you understand that recruiting is like, just like in kindergarten. When you came to kindergarten, you were all scared. You didn't have any friends. Maybe you grew up in a town and you lived in one city your whole life. I went to like 7 different elementary schools, so I was like really this, man. I was like, and I went from Jersey to California, so I had the Jersey accent of California. Man, I couldn't make a friend to save my ass. Excuse my French. But you sit in kindergarten, because I had that accent, right? And they're like, "Oh, you're weird. Oh, I don't like you." But you sit in kindergarten, you sit next to someone, maybe eventually you share a pencil with them, you become, you start talking to them, and then all of a sudden you make a friendship, and then you go out to lunch, and then you share half your peanut butter jelly sandwich with them, and they share some jerky with you, and all of a sudden you now have a friend. That's how you refer and recruit. You build relationships online with people are like you. What are you like? Well, you need money. You love Bitcoin. That's it. That's the only requirement. You go find 1,000, 100,000, 1,000,000 people that like to make money or want to make money and like Bitcoin. They don't even know how to spell Bitcoin. They're still going to be your target market. The easiest way is to go out and search on Facebook and social media and your network and your surroundings of Bitcoin network entrepreneurs and start a dialogue with them. And then with kindergarten, remember the show and tell? Now, when you're trying to get other people to join your business, you're not like, pounding them and trying to force them to join you. No. You just ask them some questions. Hey, how's it going? I saw you're in Bitcoin. How's it going for you? And Bitcoin's pretty amazing, right? Yeah, I saw you over, I see you're in Georgia, and how's the Falcons doing or whatever. Maybe you go to their timeline. You take just 2 minutes to see who they are. You start talking to them. You say, hey, have you ever heard of this Bitcoin X4 program? I'm with this guy, Robert Cash, has been around forever. This program is freaking amazing. No, I haven't heard of it. It's a way to take a small amount of Bitcoin into a larger amount of Bitcoin. And I notice you're in USI. A lot of people that are in USI are starting to join X4 because they're taking a small amount of Bitcoin, turn it into a larger amount so they can buy more packs in USI or buy, loan some more money to BitConnect and make more money. And they're saying, yeah, you know what? Most of my members in USI, they buy one pack, $50, make 50 cents a day. So I'm looking for a way, because the only reason that they only buy one pack is that's all the money they have. So I am looking for ways. So here, let me send you the link. You send your referral link, and you send a copy of the Zoom, and that's it. You say, okay, let's hook up maybe tomorrow or whatever. And if they may ping you back literally, because this thing is converting like crazy. And I don't even have to say some of these things because you guys are recruiting like crazy because it's so natural. Because guess what? You now are not recruiting and sponsoring. You're sharing and inviting. And then when you start making money, it gets that much easier. But oftentimes you'll share it to them, right? And then they'll ping you back. Say, I just went over the site, man. It is pretty cool. How do I get started? I want to go in the 20 or the 25 to 50 and 100 pack. Well, or the board. All right, send 175 Bitcoin. Here's the group wallet. You plug them into the group chat. You get them the referral link, done. Right? And you send them to the meeting. If they have any questions on what's this board system? What's this? You watch the Zoom, watch the site, done. So that's how you solve the two biggest problems. You bring people in, and it's even yourself. You may not have money and you may not know how to recruit, but you come to this team and we solve those two biggest problems for you, and then we help you solve the two biggest problems for everyone else. Because your target market is that 80 to 90%. The other 10% or 15 or 20% of the people that are making $10, $50, $100,000 a month in Bitcoin and some of these programs, that isn't your target market. You target the other 80% that lose money in every single program they join, and they can't recruit their mom. That's your target market. And guess what? That's 85% of the market. The other 15%, don't worry about them. Make sense? All right, let me go back to my screen share. Okay. So we solved the two biggies, and I've been solving these problems, in my businesses and sales and marketing forever. We solved those problems you ain't going to have any problems in life. All right, so let's look at why is this Bitcoin X4 so unique, right? Because it solves the three biggest problems and a few more, but the three biggies in any Bitcoin matrix. Now, why do I talk about Bitcoin matrices? Well, Bitcoin matrices are some of the most solid way and refined way to distribute the payments among members in a compensation plan. So USI Tech has a matrix, right? BitConnect has a referral unilevel payout. Mint Builder has a binary, which is a type of a matrix. So all programs that leverage a team and a system has some form of matrix. Now, the problems with most matrices, though, they all eventually will fail. And that's maybe a little bit of extreme because our system is matrix and it's designed not to fail. So maybe not all matrices, but most matrices. Maybe I should change that. But really, about 98% of all matrices are really just eventually will fail. And I'll tell you why. And it goes right into the second big problem. It's the imbalance of the matrix, and then there's an improper follow me function going on. And Bitcoin X4 solves all of these. Why? Because I got so tired of these problems happening, and I said there's got to be a better way. The better way is Bitcoin X4. Why do they fail? Well, first biggie is they get too wide too fast. It goes exponential. I don't care what kind of matrix you have. It's a 2x2, 2x3, 3x8, 3x4, 5x6, 3x8. Whatever it is, it's going to eventually get too wide, meaning that down on the bottom here, you're going to have, 50 people, 100 people, 500 people. They're all going to need, 100 people to make money. 500 times 100 is 50,000. Before you know it, they move on to the next deal. 80 to 90% of the people lose all their money. Right? And, the guys at the top make some money. I was making pretty good money in certain matrices. I was turning $200 in Bitcoin into 14,000 in Bitcoin in 2 weeks. And bringing in maybe 400 or 500 people. But guess what? Out of the 480 people I brought in, 472 lost their money. Not a good business model if you want to build a business long-term online. This is why I created my program. Soon, 100% of all my people will make money. I say soon because every single day someone joins, they haven't made money yet because they have to wait 15 or 30 days. Make sense? The other big problem is there's runaway legs in matrices. No matter how the matrix is designed, there's always dead zones, we call them. Oftentimes you join a program and, it's a launch coming up, lock your spot, yada, yada, yada. And you lock your spot, you're the 10th person in the company, there's 32,000 people that join and you have no one under you. Where in the heck did they all go? Well, they're over here. They're over on the other side. And it's called runaway legs, runaway matrices. And you're stuck and you just quit, you lose your money, all your people you brought in lose their money and they move to the next deal that's launching tomorrow or next week. The follow me function is a problem in most matrices. There's 2x2 follow me matrices that are out there. And the problem is that it's designed where the top guys that are recruiting this guy or gal recruits a bunch of people. They cycle. They start another board over here. They cycle. They start another board. Well, the only way you're down here, the only way to follow them to their new boards and to benefit from all the activity that they're doing is to sponsor a lot yourself. And we all learned that it's very difficult to sponsor people, even though once you learn the blocking and tackling, the basics of building relationships, your sponsoring ability will go up. But it's never going to work in these follow me matrices that are broken. Ours is, it's a 2x2 board system, but the boards are right next to each other. So what happens is when your sponsor cycles, we place them right under you. And then when you cycle, we place them under them. And then when they cycle, we place them under you. It just keeps going and adding and enabling you and your sponsor and your whole team to continually cycle consistently. Now with the cycle insurance, you have this layered on top of that. So you have two ways to cycle. You can cycle at 15 days or 30 days without sponsoring a soul. We really don't want you just joining and doing nothing. That's going to be a reoccurring theme. We're really looking for career Bitcoin entrepreneurs that want to learn skills and learn how to build relationships and be, productive team members in the future, right? As opposed to someone that throws Bitcoin over the fence and then pounds me on Facebook every 15 or 30 days wanting their payout, right? While they're off at a job they don't like or other programs that they're losing their money in. And their only program they're making money is mine, but they're still going to be rude to me. Go figure. Okay. So here's what you get when you join us. You get the private group chat. I just opened up number 7 yesterday or this morning. I can't remember. I've been so busy. But in Facebook, you fill up a chat with 250 members, so we're on chat 7. So there is a little bit of repeat of members, but I think at the end of the day, when you do the math, 6 times 250 is about 1,400 people. So we have about 1,400, if not 1,500 people in our company. And my goal at the end of November was to get to about 500. So I've pretty much 3x'd my 4x. And by the end of the year, you know, I think a comfortable number will be about 2,000 members. And I'll talk more about how it ain't about going from 2,000 to 20,000. You know, we can ride this horse for a very long time with 2,000 or 3,000 members, right? So, you know, not to say that keep sharing, keep inviting, growth is good, but it's not like we don't have this exponential issue because of the fact that we're all coming back in and reinvesting into the program, and the Bitcoin continually circulates. And then you get a private Facebook group, and then you get a replicated web page team system when you join, so you can share it with others. All right, here's the biggie that I announced about 2.5 weeks ago, the Cycle Assurance Plan. And I when I first started this program, one of the main goals when I started this program was to make sure that everyone made money, or at a minimum, if you didn't make money after 30 days, I'd just send your money back. And that was pretty cool. I mean, what other programs online send your money back? Give me a break. None. So, and you wonder, you know, well, why not? Well, maybe they're not crazy like me, but also they also understand that they just run that risk tolerance, and they say that, well, you know, no refunds come in, and then what happens is that the admins in these programs, they make their, you know, make all the money and all the members lose. And so it is what it is. So when about 2.5 weeks ago, though, I had this epiphany. I said, well, why don't, not only, because what I did was after 30 days, I would just send your money back. So you have no risk, right? So that's what started it going viral to begin with. Now with the Cycle Assurance Plan, forget about it. I can't stop people from joining. They're joining from everywhere. I mean, there's people coming out of the jungle, out of the weeds. I don't even know these people, and I get to a point where I'm like, and I'll talk more about this a little bit later. I don't want to digress. But the Cycle Assurance Plan, there's 2 options. After 15 days, you can cash out and get a new spot, or after 30 days, you can cash out and get a new spot. It's as simple as that. Now you have some options. If you've joined before 11/15, some of you are still in that bucket. You joined on 11, before 11/15, whatever that may be. You're coming up on your 30 days. You can't take advantage of the 15 days. But if you did join on 11/15 or after, your 15 days are up already. So, you know, if you want to go ahead and cash out, we'll talk about what the cash out is. Here's the first option, is where when you cash out, you get your original purchase amount plus 50% of that purchase amount plus a new spot. So an example would be if you came in at $25 and you're at your 15-day mark right now, or maybe you were 15 days yesterday and just realized you could actually cash out, you message me, and then you have to wait a couple days until I actually respond to your message. Sorry, because I have 300 messages constantly, and it is what it is. I'm hoping that I get caught up a little bit, but right now I'll talk also about timelines. When I first started, everyone was instantly, instantly getting their board link, instantly getting paid, instantly getting their Wix page. Now you have to wait a day or two. Oh, well, sorry. Would you rather wait 2 days and actually make money, or don't wait at all and lose your money, right? That's what it comes down to. Can you wait two or 3 days to make money, or do you want something instant and then lose your money? So that's your options pretty much online lately. There is a few solid programs out there, and we'll talk about those briefly. But here it is, right? So here's an example. If you go at 25, after 15 days, you cash out. Now, half of 25 is $12.50. So I round up, I pay you 40. But here's the payout structure. Pretty straightforward. You can see here as you get into the higher boards. Now, just so you know, $1,600 boards are not even open yet. I think one person, if not 2 people, tried to sneak in. They sent their 1,600 in, and we have to crack it out. And we have to get them into 2 800s. I'm just starting to open those up because I'm trying to control cash flow. I'm trying to control, because let's face it, this is crazy money, right? And then even when you get to a point where at 400, you still make your 50%. So 50% of 400 is 200, 400 plus 200 is 600, plus you get a 400 spot. Now 800, half of 800 is 400. You should get paid 1,200, right? But you're only getting paid 1,000. Well, 15 days, if you can turn 800 into 1,000 in 15 days, you're making a couple $100 a week. That ain't bad. So I lower the payout on the larger amounts, and this is for everyone's benefit. So this thing can last for forever. Maybe not forever, but a very, very long time. Let's put it that way. Option 2, you can wait and let your board purchase go all the way out. Now, just so you know, I haven't mentioned this, but it's it's fairly obvious that if you go out and actually share this with people, you can cycle in one day, right? You don't have to wait 15 or 30 days. Some people do cycle in a couple days, and some people ping me and say, why are these people cycling in like a week? And I haven't cycled. I've been in 3 weeks. We haven't sponsored anybody. And you got another week and you get a free cycle. So, chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to have faster money, folks, in this business, you have to, it's almost like a hard lesson to learn, tough love. In order to make faster money, is you got to go get other people to give you more money so you can make more money, right? There's no other way around it. You can throw more money at it. I have some people that want to buy, and fill their own board up, right? So they want to buy their last 2 spots so they can cycle. Basically, you're paying yourself and you're not making any money. Not a good strategy. All right, so here's the payout 2, and then you can see down as you scroll down, these payouts are 300% instant in Bitcoin and then 100%. So it is 400%. On 25, you get paid 100, 75 and 25, you see here. But 75, it can be paid out to you instantly, and the other 25 goes to buying a new spot. So it's kind of like an automatic forced reinvestment. We'll talk a little bit more. I think I have it on the next chart, just some new things. There's new phases now that's starting to happen because with anything, as the program becomes more and more successful, there's certain things that have to be done to keep it going and keep it successful for everybody, not just the few that go and get busy and sponsor 30 people, or they come in with 3 or 4 grand and they're really just riding the tables, playing house money. And while all the other members are still, waiting for their, 15 or 30 day payout. So here's the payouts. As you can see down here, the payouts get a little bit smaller because of the larger amounts, but you do get new spots when you cycle. Now, once again, the $1,600 spot is really not even open. I haven't think I even added anyone to a board yet. I had to talk them down to these $800 and $400 spots because we don't want to get to a point where we're have to start paying out these really big dollars, even though, and this is why I've designed these 3 phases. Now, many members, I've been thinking about this and been coming up with this for a couple weeks. Many of you on this meeting have never even seen this yet. I've only mentioned it to like 2 people out of 1,500 people. And I haven't even really talked with it about the nights. So here it is. Now, don't hold me to it. I may change it a little bit, but this is kind of how it's going to run in order for this thing to last all the way through 2018. And I skipped it. All right. So here's the new cycle payout phases. Now, this will begin to impact you, and this is pretty straightforward. You can start reading this, but I'll go over each of the phases, and I'll go over real quick the steps to get started, and we'll pop out for some Q&A. And I'll spend some time with you sharing some insight of the program and the power of this program. But so phase 1 is when you first join, you become you're like all paid members. You will receive the full 400% payout on any and all spots. So if you come in and you buy a 25, a 50, a 100, you buy 4 25s, 2 50s, 300s, you'd be surprised how many. And that's the other thing. I'm going to start talking to people that there's going to be certain caps on how many spots you can buy up front, because all it is that just because you have money, it's I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to, no shade, but it's almost taking advantage of the program, because I started this out of the kindness of my heart to help everyone make money. Let's not get too greedy is what it comes down to. And it is what it is. Phase 1 is just like normal. Phase 1 is You can, at 15 days or 30 days, you get your full cycle and a new spot. No problem. But soon you'll start moving into this phase 2, and not many members are even at phase 2 yet. There's only about 10 or 15 that are starting to creep into phase 2. Phase 2 is when you actually start to cycle you start your second cycle. So for instance, you have a 25 and a 50 and you've cycled, you fully got paid out, you got a new 25, a new 50, maybe you bought another 50. Those are all considered second spots. They're all reinvestments, right? So and then in 15 or 30 days, all those new spots that you created from your first cycle now begin to cycle. That's called a second cycle, right? So right there it says you'll receive a 50-50 payout ratio. Some people were like, well, that's BS. I'm out, Well, yeah, well, good luck making any money elsewhere. But this is so fair, you have no idea. Because what happens is, and then as you move this phase 3, it even gets sweeter, because what you're doing is you're building up a membership value bank. And then now you can consistently be having money come in, week out, while you're building your other programs, while you're living your life, whatever. It becomes a residual income. So phase 2, after you've cycled your second spot. Now, some people are already at phase 3 and they're already beyond, and they don't even know about this because I'm announcing it tonight. So it may become retroactive. It may not. I'm paying most people pretty fairly. But in most cases, I'm paying all the first spots out at 300, 400%, getting your new spot. As you start to cycle again, we start having discussions. Because what's happened, and this is why this has become more of a necessity, is that some people, right, they'll cycle a second time and they have, let's say, $500 in profits. They say, put it all back in the program, which is okay, right? But guess what? That $500 in the program is now, going to eventually cost the company 30 days from now 400% of that. So I have a $2,000 payout that I'm going to have to pay this person, which is okay because as they move into phase 3, it's manageable. So some people say after they cycle the second time or every single cycle, they just want to cash out, right? And I don't blame them either because they're trying to pay their bills. So we have to come together in the middle somewhere, right? So if you've earned, let's say you're now on your second cycle and all of a sudden you have a $50 board popping on your second cycle and a $100 board popping, add that up, that's $450 right now in instant Bitcoin. Well, you're going to get $225 of that. Now we may even, depending upon the health of the company, I may even pay you higher. I'm just saying this initially. This is the stick in the line in the sand, but it's always changeable based on each person's situation. You got to understand that. So as you move to phase 3, once you reach $1,000 in profit, now what does that mean? Some people haven't really even done the math, and then some people, when I'm starting to pay them out a lot of money, I start asking them this math. This is the math. How much total Bitcoin did you pay into the program, and how much did you get paid out? So you take the total Bitcoin payments you receive minus your original purchase amount. If you start seeing some of the testimonies on the side, a lot of people, when they opened up their Bitcoin wallet, this is what it means. And they sent me $200. They got 250s and a $100 spot 6 weeks ago. But they made $1,500. So what they do is you put in total Bitcoin payments of $1,500 minus $200 that you originally paid to get started, because what you did was you reinvested your cycles. You played with house money. So now your profit, $1,500 minus $200 is $1,300. You now have reached phase 3. Guess what? You're now on a new weekly payout, which is based on a percentage of what you were owed. So let's say now you have 5-6 boards running and they start to cycle, and this week 2 or 3 boards cycled, and you've made 1,000, and you had maybe 500 carried over. You have now 1,500. In order to keep this company running as long as well into 2018, if I just keep paying everyone 300-400%, we could potentially run out of money. We don't want that. All we're trying to do is help people raise money. So what we do is when we owe you $1,500, we look at a percentage. We say, okay, we would like to pay you $500 a week for the next 3 weeks. And you say, well, no, BS. You know, I need money. I need to fix my car. I'm in this program. And if we get too crazy, then I'm going to go back and ask you, how much money have you really made in this program? And you say, well, I only put in 200 originally, and I've made $2,000. So we have to take a reality check. Does that make sense? Is that I've basically created a lot of craziness with this program, but I also want to be able to create something long-term. So getting paid $500 a week, right, for 3 weeks isn't really a bad thing. But if you really need the money, this is another thing. You say, you know what, Robert, can you in any way send me 1,000 and then next week send me 500? Let me look. And I'll look at, you know, not only your activity level, you know, what are you doing in the team? You know, you got to understand, you're almost getting to a point where, I hate to say this, but you're almost like, you know, you are a private privileged member. I almost said you're an employee. I don't even want to use that word. You're an entrepreneur and a partner. So I want to say you're a partner. We have a partnership. And then a lot of companies that you even work for maybe are partnerships. And they're owned by 3, 4, 5, 10 people as a partnership. And they're a limited partnership. And they run a construction company. And then every year, right, the company makes, let's say, $10 million. And there's 5 owners, partners. Well, they all each get $2 million of the 10 million profit. It gets split 5 ways. So it's almost like this in a sense. You are now a partner of Bitcoin X4. And so you don't want to screw up your privilege of being a partner by arguing about how you're going to get paid out. Does that make sense? I'm very fair. I'm very, you know, up and up, and I'm very upfront. And so when you started out with $200 and you have, you know, $2,000 coming in, then it really shouldn't be that much of an issue. And then we're going to set up, and what it's going to do is be based on a percentage. And I'm trying to think of the percentage. It typically will be, if I owe you like $1,000 this week or whatever, then it's typically, I'm looking at maybe 50%. I pay you $500 this week and $500 next week. Well, guess what? I pay you $500, and then the next week goes by, and all of a sudden you have another $1,000, and now you have $1,500. Well, this next week you'll get paid $750, which is 1,500 divided by 2. Do you see what I'm saying? Your weekly pay can go up based on your balance. All right, let me stop share real quick. So why did I do this? Why all the changes? Well, first of all, you don't really know sometimes all the intricacies of what's going to happen and with the company. And we're doing fine financially. We're healthy. It's all good. It's not like, oh my God, you know, I'm going to get paid less. No, you're getting paid the same amount, but you're incrementally getting paid over time, which builds discipline and begins to make you understand the value of what you really have here. Because, and I guess really at the end of the day, if I just kept paying everyone 400%, then I'd be like all the other bozo programs out there that collapse. And then the next morning you wake up, Robert's gone, you know, he has a wig on now and he's like, you know, someone else. And you go to the site and the site's not found. Because they run out of money. They don't manage it well, or they keep all the money themselves and buy a bunch of real estate or houses or a bunch of Bitcoin and they disappear. I'm none of that. So hopefully we understand why I'm doing this. And then, so keep in mind, there's 3 phases, right? So many of you folks, you won't even move into phase 2 for another month or 2, where you're rolling and say you bought 4 or 5 positions, you're going to get cashed out 400%, 300% payout, 100% respots. You're going to be making bank. And then you'll get to a point where you'll move into phase 3, which is all of a sudden you're now in profit over $1,000 or more. And then you'll start getting into this weekly incremental payout. And the payout can actually go up because you're still reinvesting and still having your bank go up. And I'm always open for negotiation, meaning that, you know, like I said, if you have $2,000 I owe you because of this week and all of a sudden all your cycling kind of accumulated, you know, I'm prepared to send you half of that, $1,000. You're like, you know what? Can you send me like $1,200? That'd be great. You know, if we're going to dicker around $200, you know, I'm not going to argue over it. Now, the last thing I'll say on this, because I don't want to make it a big issue, people will start to argue that it's my money. You should pay me all my money that you owe me right now, and I'm going to call the IRS, the feds, the SEC, the FTC, Facebook. You have to understand the only way you have that money is because of me. I made that money for you. Does that make sense? So your negotiation powers can diminish quite a bit. And then the only power you're going to have by reporting me and all that is not getting your money back. Well, you've already made $1,000 and you're already in profit. How's that going to sound, right? You're going to say, well, the program's ripping people off. No, we're not, because the entire membership makes money, right? So there's no, so anyone that's a member, you got to understand I'm doing this for the betterment and the protection of our company and the betterment for you. All right. So hopefully, if you can't hear Melvin, sorry. Yeah, so I'll just let that stew a little bit, because, the first thing, and this is the big ego, right? And the big anger and the bitterness starts to happen, where Robert's now trying to take my money, and you're not even thinking that you never even had that money if it wasn't for me. And you won't even be affected by it. It'll actually be a good thing, because guess what? It'll be like, it's every Friday, it'll be payday. And it's almost like a job, but it's a job that not a job that you hate. It'll be a job you love, because you'll know that you have that money coming in. And I'm doing it to make sure you have that money coming in. Because the other thing I can do is just keep paying everybody and going crazy, working 15 hours a day, doing boards and board links and splitting and yada, yada, yada. And then, come January, oops, we're out of money. Wait a minute. I have 15 boards and you owe me like $32,000. What do you mean we're out of money? Right? We don't want that. So yeah, you have 15 boards and you have 32 grand coming. Guess what? You have $1,000 a week for 32 weeks. It's like an annuity, and we're building up here now. Net, you guys don't understand that the Bitcoin X4 isn't like we've worked and learned and yearned our whole life to find, and then we now arrived at the utopia. Bitcoin X4 is just a fundraiser. It's just the beginning to where we're now, when you start making, you're making $500, $1,000 a week residual. You now can get to a point where I talk about this quite a bit, is that how much are you making at your job, right? How much money do you need to make every month to pay your bills? $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, right? And then how much is you making in Bitcoin X4? Many people haven't made anything. But all of a sudden you start making, $500 a week, and all of a sudden that's $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. Before you know it, you're making as much as your job that you don't even like. And then all of a sudden that job goes away. And so what it does is it stabilizes you and takes care of all the necessities and your bills, so you can really get busy and really take your life and your businesses to the next level. Because at the end of the day, you should be looking at like a USI Tech or BitConnect, a Mint Builder, with our team as a unified Bitcoin team, to take that money that you're making in Bitcoin X4 consistently and making more money. Now, so that's kind of the whole thing that I've been, making sure that because what it gets down to is, if you think about it, it's kind of crazy, right? I don't know if you've seen some testimonies over here. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you have. I don't know if people are posting them. Yeah, Stan. Stan says, I wouldn't want to manage this. Yeah. You feel my pain. Hey, I love what I do because I know that I'm changing a lot of people's lives. You have no idea how many people just in the last few days are like, oh my God, God bless you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. First time I ever made money. This money's going to change my life. I can't believe I found you. You are the godsend. On and on and on and on and on. And I don't do it for the ego, like, ooh, cool, man. I do it because that's who I am. That's why I'm here. This is why I kind of floated down, and came to earth. I have my beautiful wife, my 3 beautiful kids, super healthy, super successful. Can't be happier. I'm 52 years old. I make plenty of money. What else am I supposed to do in my life? Right? Get all rich and go on vacations and not help anybody and just sit back and drink. And no, this is how and so managing this, yeah, it's can be tough sometimes. And what makes it tough is that people, they want instant gratification. They're so used to when you log into a new program, right? Oh, this new program just launched. Let me log in. It's all the same cheap software you buy online, by the way. It's like $300 software script. That's a piece of crap. You log in your little 2x2, 3x3, 3x8 Bitcoin matrix, and you get your username and you log in, and you forgot your username and your password, and then your email, and then and then you put your Bitcoin wallet in there, the Bitcoin wallet address, before then you can send the coinpayments.net, and you're all in, and you make no money, and the Bitcoin wallet you put in there, you're never going to make a dime, and then and then within 2 days there's the next launch, and you go and right. Time to get off the treadmill. You're like a friggin' hamster, right? And this is where you start to break free, and you start to realize that, this is nonsense, right? The people that are making stupid money right now, I mean, it's like money that, I'm doing all right, not even close. I have my good buddies making $50,000, $100,000 a month in USI and BitConnect and other programs that I'm building, along with them while I'm doing this. I came down and did this program because I knew that 80 to 90% of the people on the planet Earth need me. Because if I can make a bunch of money and I don't help people, what friggin' good is it? It's helping me, right? Some people say, well, all these rich people, they help the economy because they go out and buy stuff. BS. And the trickle down and all that. Okay, so I digress. But working 14, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, wouldn't recommend it necessarily. But the only way that you're going to get to the next level in your life, you got to work your butt off, man. There ain't no free lunch. There ain't no free ride. You may be thinking, I'm going to go into Bitcoin X4, and I'm going to go into, I'm going to leverage up. I'm going to get on a 200 board, 400 board, 800 board, 1600 board, and I'm going to go have bottle service, right? Get my yacht, and then I'll just go and ping Robert on Facebook every 14 days or every 15 days. Hey, Robert, you sent my Bitcoin yet? My wallet's, I didn't heard the ding yet. What's up? Oh, hey, Clarence. Or, hey, Tom. I haven't seen you on Facebook for a month. I didn't start my company for those characters. Let me just warn you. I started this business to help people understand that there's a better way. You can get out of your rut, and you can learn the basics of blocking and tackling and building a business online with Bitcoin. And really, it's coming together as a team, working as a network, working with systems, improving programs, and being systematic and consistent. You got to be online. If you want to make money online, you kind of be online. If you want to make big money online and consistent money, you need to learn relationships and building networks and teams. It can be a little overwhelming. If you want programs that you just want to throw a bunch of money at and make your 1 or 2% a day, then buy a bunch of packs in USI, or buy some things in BitConnect, or get some Mint Builder going, and other passive programs. But let me tell you, some of the passive programs out there, boom, they disappear. Questor Atlantic Group, I don't even know what Tradecoin Club is doing lately. Gladia Coin, Jetcoin, all these programs, yada, yada, yada. You go, and people were putting in, what was it, Crypt Trade Capital, people putting in $100,000 of their life savings, and boom, site's gone. All the executives, all the admins, they're just like buying houses in Dubai, right? It's a friggin' nuclear dead zone online for the most part. When you come here, you finally realize, oh my God, maybe I finally found it, and you have. The only thing that can screw it up is you. Impatience, greed, anger, not really wanting to work, not wanting to help, share, give, love. And so I talk about this analogy, and it tends to shift people's thinking pretty quickly. And I ask people, let's talk about your mom. Now, some people have lost their mom. My mom's still alive, thank God. My wife just lost her mom a couple weeks ago. But what would you do for your mom if she needed something? Right? Do anything, I would hope, unless you hate your mom, which is pretty rare. But at the end of the day, you would do anything. You would give your friggin' life for your mom, right? Or your wife or your kids. As soon as you have that feeling of knowing that, I would do anything for my family, as soon as you shift your thinking and understand that if you're prepared to do that in building a business online, and when you go find people and have relationships with them, if you get to a point where you're wanting to help them as much as you want to help your family, then you're home free. All you need to, in between that essence of being able to be as a servant or help, is to have a solid program with a solid system and a solid team to guide you on your way. And then you can begin to replace that income that you don't even like. You know, they say like 80% of the people on the planet don't even like their job. That's a problem, right? I mean, what made you get your job? I know if you're like a veterinarian, right, or a heart surgeon, you're not going to be watching my Zoom. Maybe investing in Bitcoin because you saw Van Winklevoss twins just became billionaires and you want to diversify your portfolio. But I'm talking about the other 80 to 90% of the people that are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're at a job they don't like. How do you break free? And it doesn't happen like, and I talk about how me being overweight, right? I'm about 20 pounds overweight because I'm sitting and working 15 hours a day. I'm just starting to go back to the gym now. You know, when I go to the gym, it just seems like my phone blows up. And I'm at the gym on the treadmill, right, leaving people's messages, telling them that I'm going to be with you just shortly. Just give me another, 45 minutes so I don't have a heart attack, and I'll come help you. But, it took me a year to get 20 pounds overweight. It's going to take me another 9 months minimum to lose that weight, right? So it's almost like that with your online business. You can't expect that within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, all of a sudden your whole financial life is going to be. Now, some people, when they're in Bitcoin X4, they've already made 500 or 1,000. Their life has already completely changed. And some people don't even have jobs, and they're making crazy money. Okay. So I won't let me see if I'm going into some questions here, if you have any questions. So I wanted to just update folks on the overall program. Everything's going great in the process. I think I didn't cover the getting started, but getting started is pretty simple. If you're thinking about getting started, most of you folks that are on the meeting are members already. And I think I'll address a little bit of that. But then initially when you first join, obviously you have to pick out what board you want to be, 25, 50, 100. And we have all the way up to $800 boards. And then whatever the total amount of boards you want to be on, you send that total amount of Bitcoin in, and then you're in, and then your clock starts. Now, an important thing to understand is that as soon as you send your Bitcoin, your clock starts for 15 or 30 days. Now, it may take you, right now, it's running 2-3 days before you're fully plugged into the system. You get your board link. Now, you can get your referral link and get in the group chat a little bit quicker because we have help, the nights and things. And your sponsor, that's going to be one of your main keys. Now, there's quite a bit of people coming in off my Facebook following and YouTube followings, and they're coming in and they don't have a sponsor. So I'm kind of like, not only do I have 350 members pounding me for a board link or a payout or a cycle assurance, but I have 10, 15, 20 people joining the day that has no sponsor. So I'm thinking I may go back where I'll pick out 4, 5, 6 people that, have some time, and I'll start sending them to you as leads. And then you have to follow up when you connect with them on Facebook. And then if they don't have a sponsor, then I'll try to put them on your board and help you out so you can cycle. So I've been doing that with a few people. So let me know after the call if you want some of those leads. I have about 40 I haven't even gotten to in my inbox. But when new people come in, if you sponsor somebody, you now are their, help. You want to make sure that they send you their hash so you can verify they're a paid member. Then we had a little squabble before the meeting started in one of our chats that, someone added someone without getting approval to add them into group chat. We want to go through a process where you have to get approval from a knight, which is one of our 6 or 7 folks that are helping our team police all the chat, trying to keep out the negative and the haters and all the other people that want to take things down because that's their nature. They like to see failure. Misery loves company. But the knights are your help in terms of when you invite someone and sponsor them, they pay, you send the hash and their Facebook profile so they can kind of put the 2 and 2 together. Then they'll add them to group chat for you. Then we welcome them in, and that's the first step. And then you want to get with the Wix page developers to get them. I don't know who's all doing it now. I know Will does it, but there's a few others that get them their referral page. And they're added to the group chat. They have the referral page. They paid. Their clocks start. So now you go into this, let's try to find Robert, right? And get him to answer my message. Well, I'm 300 messages behind, and I'm about 36 hours behind on messages. So the other thing I want to mention to people is when you send me a message, to the risk of bugging me, is that every 2 to 4 hours you should send me a reminder with asterisk reminder or asterisk new member, and then you queue up and you go up and you refresh, you bump, they call it. You bump on the, because what happens is people are, are cool and nice, thank goodness. 95, 98% of our members are, top notch, which is great. There's always a few bad eggs, right, and I have to deal with. But what I was going to say is, you send me a message like, I don't want to bother Robert. I already sent a message. And then 36 hours goes by and you're like, why is Robert not answering? Because I'm 36 hours behind. So if you can wait 2 days to get an answer to a question or a board link, then go ahead and wait, because I don't know what else to tell you. But if you don't want to wait, then you get into this process of every 2 to 4 hours you remind me. Now, I will still maybe ignore you because I'm super busy doing other stuff, but I'll eventually open you up because I know you're persistent. Squeaky wheel gets oil, and then I open you up. I look at it. Now, when I open up some messages that people are pinging me, it's as long as my arm, right? And I kind of try to, do one of these. And then I do scroll up, and then I start reading it, and I scan it. I read it. I scan it. Now, we all have to get real concise in what you need from me, right? So if it's a new member, all I need is name, board, sponsor, hash. Name, board, sponsor, hash. I don't need, for one member ad, literally it takes up my entire messenger. I get carpal tunnel scrolling the message, and I'm just like, so anyway. So you finally get in, you get added, and so the process is, you got to start telling when you get people in. Now, the other biggie that I was going to mention earlier, and I'll mention it now, and don't get all crazy, I was literally thinking, maybe we just freeze all new members until January 1, 2018, right? Some people were like, wait a minute, no. I got like 20 people that want to join. I got, a tribe here. I got this over here. I'm going to be making all this money for Christmas. So I don't want to do anything crazy. But I'm just saying that was one option. And I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, right, is that when you sponsor someone, you say, hey, you know what? Bitcoin X4 is probably the hottest program online right now. So there's a little waiting. So when you go to Disneyland or Disney World, or you go to, Disney Paris, wherever you are in the world, Dubai and all their, special amusement parks, you wait in line, right? You go see Star Wars coming up in another week here, The Last Jedi, or whatever the hell it is. First of all, you can't even buy tickets to the friggin' theater sold out. And then you have to wait in a 3-hour line. And you get to the popcorn, and they're friggin' out of popcorn, right? That's Bitcoin X4. Because it's so friggin' cool. It's so hot. People are making 300 to 400% because you get paid 300%, and the other for doing nothing. But we also are learning a lot of great skills, and we're coming together as a team, and we're finally. And I often joke about this through the years in my Facebook. It's like, wouldn't it be interesting if we all came together and worked one program, as opposed to everyone works 5 or 6, 10 programs, right? Like this, shiny object and all that. Talk about being scattered, right? Now, I'm a big believer in multiple streams of income, right? But not to a point of like, where it's a problem. How you work multiple streams of income in a strategic way is doing it with one team, one system, one program, one process, but multiple streams. So when the new person comes in, they may already be a part of USI or whatever, but they're coming into Bitcoin X4. And then they can plug in because they're already part of USI, but they may not be a part of BitConnect. So you talk to them about BitConnect because it's similar to USI. So one prospect, one team, one system, where you then can make 4, 5, 6 incomes from one person. So the same effort, instead of making $2,000 a month, you can make $10,000 a month because it goes 5x because you have multiple. So I'm a very big believer in multiple streams of income, but you don't want to work all the things by yourself on different teams, because what it's doing is spreading you thin. And then your own team or known network starts to feel like you're all over the place. And they go join some other guru or some other leader, and you lose them. And you lose kind of your own little nuclear following. You got to have a nuclear following. When you come to my team, you should have it. And a lot of people have that. So I just want to make sure you're clear on that. This is so important because here's the kicker. It's either over here at a job you don't like, right? Most people are like, who likes Monday mornings, right? I freaking love Monday mornings because I always say, happy Bitcoin Monday. And I go to my phone and I get up, I walk to the kitchen, I make coffee, I sit down, and I see how many members I can help make money today on a Monday morning. So every single morning is freaking Friday to me, right? But when you have a job that you don't like, there ain't nothing worse. Friday, thank God it's Friday, right? And that Gary Vee talks about that. It's like if you're planning for your weekends or planning to go on vacation away, and your stuff is messed up. You got to get to a point in your life where you're not trying to get away from your life to go on vacation. You know what I'm saying? Or get away from your job. So anyway, to get to a point where you replace your job with the online income, you have to start owning it though, and treating it serious and becoming a true network entrepreneur. And all you really do is come together with a team with proven programs, and you help and you work together, and it starts to happen. But it is a consistent effort you have to take. And now, if you get to a point where you have $100,000 in the bank because you've made based on all the things you're doing in the next 6 months or 9 months, then you can sit back a little bit, and you can kind of pick and choose. And you can throw another 10 grand in USI, another 10 grand in BitConnect. Maybe you want to buy a few more boards, and before you know it, you start to. So, but initially, when you have no money and no following and no network and no money and all that, you got to work your butt off for a certain period of time to work to the point where you can get to a point where all of a sudden you're making as much as your job and you can drop your job. So I just want to make sure it's so important that we emphasize that. Okay, so let me scan. I don't want to go too much longer. So just so everyone knows, of course, we have this Tuesday night, then we'll have Thursday night, then we have Saturday. These are the Zoom meetings. I was going to have a team meeting, but I probably won't. I think overall, I think the biggest takeaway is that it would be cool if we had 3 or 4 more Roberts, but we don't. That way, you would get instant your instant board link, and you get an instant Wix page, you get an instant payout, you get an instant cycle assurance. The other thing I want to talk about, though, on that regard, is that we still have a lot of people coming back, and I haven't even seen them for a month, and they just get they get ear of something about being able to earn that cycle assurance, and I may even flip them into phase 2, meaning that they may not get the full cycle assurance because they've just been completely, I've been super busy though, I've been working 3 jobs, and I'll get better, let me watch a Zoom. I haven't watched any Zooms. They haven't liked, commented, juiced, shared, nothing. And they're gonna, and then if they twist and play the game like, well, I sent you the money, you guaranteed you'd pay me, so you better pay me, all that BS. I'd be like, hey, send me your wallet, bye-bye. And I send your money back at least. Right? But if you're going to be cool and you say, you know what, hey, I was super busy, I love the program, and then we'll start talking about, the cycle assurance. It's not guaranteed, folks. It's not. This is my program, and I don't want to be the bad guy. But if 95% of the members are all cool and they come to me and boom, and I've been paying so much friggin' cycle assurance, and my arms are numb. But there are some people that don't get it, and then some people come to me and say, you know what, this ain't working for me. Can you send me a refund? I'm like, yes. I can't friggin' wait to send refunds, right? It's one of the best moments of my life, other than paying a hardworking, loyal member that I know that their life is changing because of me. When I pay them a cycle assurance, that's a better feeling, but pretty close to sending a refund, because I know I can get them out of my freaking life. And the other challenge, though, is figuring out how many group chats they're in, and how much corruption they may want to cause, because they're a lot of people are bitter and angry. The beaten dog in the cage. You remember that analogy, right? Oftentimes it's not their fault. They had a lot of hard breaks in life. But there's no excuses. That's what my wife says. Oh, you're making an excuse. There's no excuses. I always tell her, there's excuses and there's reasons. You go to Wikipedia. The reason why I'm upset about this or that is, that's the reason. It's not an excuse. No, it's still an excuse. So, I've been married for 25 years. You know how it is. We get in those little quibbles. My husband and I put in these 25. We cycle now, have 50 and 50 boards, and we scan this. You guys have been reading this. The other big, not necessarily a big thing, but if you have a 400, if you have a 200, 400, and 800, or 200 and 400, or you have three $200 boards and two $400 boards, you're starting to roll some bank, right? But you also invested some bank. So we do. So what I'm trying to get to is that you automatically may start triggering phase 2 and 3 right away. Meaning, if you bought a $400 board and you come up and you're at 30 days, the cycle assurance will still be paid out in full, of course, but the payment may be broken up in 2 weekly payments or something. I'm gonna make sure I'm clear on that. So some people are just like, oh yeah, and why I'm doing this is that it's to control cash flow, is the bottom line, just to be perfectly honest with you. But at the same time, you are making such crazy money, it's not even funny. And you're turning 400 into, what is that? I don't even know. 1,200. 400 into 1,200 in 30 days, because you have another 400 spot that's going to automatically, so 1,200. Now, in most cases, that if it's your first spot, right, I pay full. But because, if it's an $800 board, you're at 3,200, right? And you minus out the 8, you're at 2,400 now. I may not pay you that instantly, that 2,400. But it depends, right? If you're nice, you're helpful, we talk, I may let it flow. Or I say, guess what? Or this is what I offer you. I'll pay you $1,200 this week and $1,200 next week. How's that? That's fine with me. That's perfect. Because I only really need about 800 because I'm already making money. I already got that stuff. You know what I mean? Because you also have to understand you are a partner in the company. You want the company to last as a partnership. You should be concerned in its health. And part of your contribution is not to try to rake all the money in, right? Me. It's all about, making sure that you have, because all you're doing is building up your partnership bank and your cash flow. And we want to get to a point, and I talked about this ever since I started this company, we want to get to a point where you're making almost like a residual income from this program. And then you'll take, half of that, hopefully by, obviously you'll be paying your bills with the money that you're making, but you'll start putting the other money into other programs. So you add that together, before you know it, that's when you start to break free. That's when you finally made it, right? I mean, no other way other than systematically doing the steps you have to take to make it, because, it doesn't just happen overnight. All these people on Facebook that are making bank, right? Ari and Lori and Alex, and I can name about 10 in my immediate following. They worked the last 5 or 8 years, 18 hours a day, building lists, doing marketing, losing tens of thousands of dollars, spending thousands of dollars. Now they have 10,000 people follow them, and then every program they join, they make $10,000 a minute because they earned it, right? So when you start out and you have $50 to your name and you have no following, pretty hard to make money, right? So how do you start? Come into X4, you come in, and I often, talk about it's the entry now and the beginning. And so you need to be prepared to then begin to leverage and reinvest your funds, and then start to do an incremental, right? Because, obviously it's 15 and 30 days. So when you join, you have 15 or 30 days before you even start seeing money come in. So you have another 30 days before money starts to come in a little more. So you got to look at it like a 3-month and then a 6-month window. And some people are like, that ain't going to work for me. I want to make money now, right? So this is one of the fastest ways to make money. That's why I created it, because people don't want to wait. You put $50 in USI, you're making $50 in the USI, you're making 50 cents a day, right? That ain't going to change anybody's life, but it's a good thing to do, because if you have other money coming in, you're keeping your bills paid, you might as well put some money away so you can make some residual earnings on your money. You got to get your money making money. This is what we do. We leverage the money up. So the only way to take a small amount of money and to make a large amount of money is with team leverage and a network. There ain't no other way. Now, you could buy a product for 20 and sell it for 40, right? Your profit's 20. You sell enough of that product, you can make money. That's how people are making crazy money on Shopify and eBay and other businesses. You walk down the street, everywhere you look are businesses. How do those businesses make money, right? Well, they spend $10, $15, $20, $50,000 a month on lease and employees and salaries and healthcare and products, but they sell 100,000. So they make 50,000 a month profit. Now, many businesses, you walk down the street, they're barely making it, folks. This is why I say 80-90% of all businesses out there in America, even though that's the blood, and depending upon your country, that's the blood of all economy is a small business. But many small businesses are barely making it. This is your chance. You only get one shot, man. Right? Maybe two. I'm a big believer that, turning your life around, and if you really messed up, you can always get a second chance. That's why I say maybe two. You always get a second chance. But I'm telling you, man, you ain't got many more chances left. And how do you change your life from scratch? How do you, right? You're broke, you don't have no money, you have no network. You got to start somewhere, and then you have to start taking it serious. And you have to start taking incremental steps, and that's why we're here, to help you get to that next level. Right? And you hang out with successful people that continually tell you where all the hot programs are, and before you know it, you finally are getting it, right? And then you start inviting and sharing, and all of a sudden you have your own little network that you're started and your own relationships, and then boom, you're free. It's as simple as that, man. And we're here to guide you along, right? $375 and $3,500, pulled out $2,000, 22 spots. Yeah, Allie, you're phase 3. Just kidding. We have to get together, Allie. I think the other big thing, and I'll end up because I don't want to go much longer. 90 minutes is my cutoff because I think some people can listen. I can listen to myself forever, but I know that you have things to do. Now I'm gonna be online for the next 3, almost 4 hours. So as soon as I drop off, I'm going to be online. I'm going to try to catch up. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of my messages. I'm still answering Sunday's messages. It is now Tuesday. I'm 2 days behind, folks. Sorry. And I'm trying to scan it because anyone that has like the fire drill emergency, there's very few emergencies right now. If you just need a board link, that's not an emergency, right? If you're sponsoring 30 people and you need a board link to know where you want to put that last person and you have 29 more coming in, hopefully that's not the case because I'm already slowing people down. I have some people coming in and are like, oh, I got 10 more. Here's 10 more people. I'm like, whoa, Ace. No more for a week. And I'm already starting to tell that to people. It's like, we're going to get these 10 in. You're going to take a break. You're going to go have a drink of water, walk around the block, whatever you got to do because we got to pace these folks coming in. It's we don't need landslides. It ain't good for nobody. Okay, what was I going to say? So getting through the messages. Now, when you come in, and I want to tell everyone just to make sure you understand that it may be another day or two before, because I know that when you first sponsor somebody and you talk all about how great the program is, and then they're pinging you like, dude, I haven't even got my board link yet, and I haven't gotten a referral link. I'm not in group chat. This program stinks. How is it so good? So you gotta, say, all right, I understand, but you have to just be patient. This program rocks. We'll get you in. And you have to already precondition people to the reality that it's taken a couple days. And you have to tell maybe the story about anything good you're going to have to wait for, right? And it's, okay, yeah, all right, I'm all right. And then they finally going to kind of calm down a little bit. Now, how you really get them to relax is to know that as soon as they send the Bitcoin in, their earning starts, regardless of when I add them to the board. It may take 3 days, but it's on the hash. As soon as they send the Bitcoin to the group wallet, their 15 days starts. 3 days from now, they finally get Robert to put them on a board. Woo! They've been earning for 3 days. They only have 12 more days to cash out their 15 days. Does that make sense? So that's what you tell your people if they start bugging you. And this is also kind of a test, too, in a way. It's a life test of how prepared you are to make money long term. Because no matter what you do, you need extreme patience. And ain't nothing happening overnight that's worth anything. And you've gotten to your point in your life, and you think back some of the life-changing moments that you've had. What did it take to get to where you got, and what you did, and how you met your wife or your husband, or how you finally found your job that changed your life? How all those little moments. Think back, and then think back of how hard or maybe You see what I'm trying to say? So no matter what it is in life, if it's worth anything, it's going to take a lot of effort, and it has to be hard for it to be worth something, right? So it's the same with this program. There is no easy money, and I think that I err on the side of making this so easy that people finally, they almost like check out. I don't want that. And that's what I'm doing the 15 to 30 day to make sure everyone makes money, so you can come in and learn and relax and know that you have a home, and you can, start to build up your wealth. I didn't make it to where you can just come in and throw me some Bitcoin, and every 2 weeks or a month you ping me on Facebook and send me my Bitcoin, right? You can do that as long as you're super nice and, okay. So I started a month ago. Yeah. So the testimonies is getting to the point where it's redonkulous. It really is. It's cray-cray. When you first start a company or in any program, one of the biggest things is testimonials. And does it work? I don't know what else to say, because anyone that thinks it doesn't work isn't doing their research. And pretty soon, like I said, every single person in the company will make money. What other matrix that you join online, these Bitcoin matrices, literally 90% of the people make no money, right? And then, like I said, with USI, as long as you buy a pack, you make 1% a day. So, I can't say that for every company, but you can't make big money in 1% a day, right? Even if you have $1,000, let's say you have $10,000, right? What's 1% of $10,000 a day? $100. $100 a day is not bad. Now, the $100 a day is the average income in the United States. $3,000 a month. That's the average. $36,000 a year is like the average income in America. Now, in other countries, the average annual income is probably $1,200 a month or $1,200 a year. So when people come in for these other countries, and and they get a $25 spot and they cycle, and I send them 75, they're making it. But I digress. I'm just reading some more comments here. Steve, you want to get together with me? Yeah, someone just posted it. So I have, they were talking about the passive programs. Can't wait to start yours. So another thing I was going to share, but I won't necessarily yet, but there was a pretty successful online marketer that created this whole Bitcoin portal that has all the sexiest, coolest funnels and marketing funnels and training that you would ever imagine. I think I'm going to start moving all Bitcoin X4 folks into it, because it automatically markets USI and BitConnect. Why? Because he's smart, like me. Because they're the two hottest programs on the internet right now. And he's built this whole portal and training and videos and funnels, and it's unbelievable, right? And Bitcoin X4 is this: when you finally get in, you start making money, then you can get in, and before you know it, then you just automate. And all you do is just share and post and have all the marketing systems do all the work for you. And you have a team, a system, and then you can build short, mid, and long-term wealth. So I'll start sharing some of that. And I'm apprehensive sometimes, because I don't want to feel like people like, oh, Robert, you're stealing all my people or whatever, right? If you're already in USI, then you should have this funnel, and you should consider getting to BitConnect, and then you can just share the funnel. And because all you do is you log into the system, it's free, and you embed your username on these two programs. And I think there's a third. There's the Mindset 24 Global, the one that was started with Kevin Harrington, was Bitcoin. I was one of the founding members. So this Mindset 24, USI, and BitConnect all integrated into this beautiful funnel. And when you log in, all you do is put your username in. So when you share the funnel with everyone, they come in, and when they join USI, they join you. So anyway, so that's another really cool thing as we move through X4. I know a lot of folks are like, wait a minute, I haven't even cycled the first time yet. Let's not get too crazy and talk about all this other stuff. But I'm telling you, there's a long-term plan in the Unified Bitcoin team. Bitcoin X4 is just a beginning, folks. It's a very good beginning, because it's finally getting you to a point where you're making money consistently. That's the biggest problem. Once again, right? You got to have money to make money, and you got to kind of learn the basics of trying to invite and refer and build a business. The only way to make long-term money online, you have to own that process, at least for a year or two. And then you get to a point where you have enough money where you don't have to do that much, and you can have you basically live on your money, and you check in once in a while. That's when you know you're almost officially retired. But once again, retirement can be overrated. I joke about this a little bit, and my wife says, I don't know why you talk about this, but at the end of the day, retirement, first of all, 80%, 90, 85% of the people that retire broke, unfortunately. And then when you retire, your health is diminished, so you can't enjoy your life. But then the other big thing, when you retire, you get bored, right? You can have all the money in the world, you can still get bored. So this is the beauty of this Bitcoin business. And when you're on a line with a team and you're building a network, and it gives you something to do. So when you're in between golf and tennis and walking and going out to dinner, you have relationships long-term that you can build. And then that's what builds your wealth even more, right? Because it's not only money, it's relationships and your family, right? That really makes you truly feel like you've reached success. And success is not a destination, it's a journey. And it's a process that we have to be on and own. Okay, so I think I've maxed out my my knowledge tonight, and I just want to make sure that everyone understands. I didn't really change much with the phases, but it's just a way to make sure that we control payouts and cash flow. Now, it may actually give me a little bit of breathing room as well, because we have 15 and 30 day. Then we may eventually everyone will get to a point where they're like weekly paydays. Now, I may get to a point where it's not just going to be Friday for everybody. You may be on a Monday payout, or there'll be a Wednesday. It'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? And you can decide, like it's on a Tuesday, can I get paid tomorrow? Yes. Or if you're on a Sunday, you can get paid on Monday. So you mean, so it's not going to be like, oh, I have to wait another 7 days to get paid. That's bunk. No, you can get paid. You can get paid in the time that I get ready to do payouts or something like that, right? So you just have to understand that it's a lot better getting paid weekly or getting paid at all than not getting paid at all. Does that make sense? You have an option of going out and trying to make money and losing all your money, or coming here and knowing that your money's good and you're going to get paid consistently. Big difference. So it's worth a little bit of extra wait time. Okay. Someone was laughing. I'm available for leads. Yeah. Bitcoin's up past 12,000. So, yeah, so for the leads, there's a few people that I have been kind of working on, but I can hand them out, and then you just have to follow up with them. Now, I do ask that anyone that follows up with the leads that I send you, you ask them who referred you, and oftentimes they'll just say, I saw you on YouTube, or I saw you on Facebook. I don't know, you referred me. Now, if you ask them and you found that, then they can be yours. And they want to come in at a 25 and a 50 board, and you only have a $100 board. Guess what? They don't go on your board. Right? They're going to go on the very next top $25, $50 spot, which will help whoever's up on that board to cycle. This is why we really are a pure team build going on. Okay. All right, I got to run because I'm at 90 minutes. I'm over 90 minutes, and I don't want to go too much longer because I need to get back online and help some people. So just so you know, if you're waiting for me, make sure that if I'm waiting for a board link, I'll give Robert a break till tomorrow. But if I'm waiting for a cycle assurance, and I'm a nice person and I've been working hard, then you want to come up on my priorities, because I'm going to look at you and say, okay, I'm going to put you in a new spot. I'm going to send you Bitcoin. You now have a new spot. Welcome to the team. You now are an official partner. Because really, it's almost like this 30 days of kind of like a romance, right? We're dating. And if you don't work on a good, strong relationship with me, the owner of the company, that's a problem, right? And it's really good life lessons to learn, because when you partner up with leaders online, you want to, they can make you a lot of money, right? And it's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know. Remember that. And that's so important when you're networking. Because I can make you a lot of money, and if we become partners, right? And you are a partner now, because when you come to my program, you now are my partner, and you're the partner of your sponsor who referred you. We're all just big partners. We all share in the honey pot, the Bitcoin pot, right? We all get our little payouts, and before you know, it's going to get bigger and bigger payouts. But you have to kind of just be a really good citizen, right? in our community, a good partner. There's no room for people that are negative and haters and impatient, rude. No. Never work. How's that work for you so far? Right? Never worked for me. Even though I'm pretty impatient sometimes, I can get pretty friggin' mad, but then afterwards, I'm a kind of a type A where I'll get my anger out quick, and then so that way I can save my heart attack. I don't keep much things in, so if you have any idea or wonder what I'm thinking, you'll know. I'll tell you. Okay, so peace. Love you guys. Keep up the great work. One of the biggest things: be grateful, be helpful, be patient. It's all coming, man. The promised land. I can see it. It's already here. It's just it's mindset. Be positive, be helpful, be grateful, and it's all coming now. If you've been waiting 2 days to get someone added and you're about ready to shoot me, that's when you need to work on a little bit more patience, because I'm here. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't get to you. All right. Peace.